I enjoyed watching your story over the weekend. It was quite an adventurous weekend.
Yeah, it kind of took off like nuts, but anyway, it really was fun. It was a challenge for me. I had a good time, and I was ultimately trying to see both of them, so it worked out.
So take us through your day on Sunday, how it started, how it ended, and really all of the stuff in between.
Right. Right. Well, first you have to get to the Tampa game. So we got an Uber over, and it's very easy to get to Tampa, stadium, Raymond James, but it's not easy to get out. And that's true of most stadiums after the game's over. But I decided I'd leave in the fourth quarter, or at least at the end of the third quarter, because I knew it was going to be just a madhouse of cars and people getting out, and I'd never make it to the airport. So I left then, tried to get to where the Uber or the rideshare lot is. And it was just one of those things where it was way the heck in Steinbrenner Field. And it was like, back 40. And I'm like, I'm never going to make it in time. So I got this rickshaw, and this guy was pedaling like crazy to get me to the area. And he was such a nice man. He got me there. I tried to find an Uber. Nobody would, connect. They're probably watching the game. And then on top of it, I tried to get to like a taxi or something like that, and it was just taking forever. But finally we got one, and then there was just crowding, and it was we couldn't get out, and he was trying to direct traffic and everything. Finally got out of there, took a taxi back to the airport, grabbed my luggage, which was already at the hotel that is in the Tampa airport. And I didn't check any bags, went right through to TSA, smooth sailing. And it's just a very easy trip because the Tampa airport is so close to the stadium. So it worked out really well, and got on the plane. So it worked, but it was a 30-minute delay. And then, you have to sit on the tarmac for 30 minutes, and because they needed to get time to schedule. So, but I got to watch, I was on a plane that you have live TV. So I got to watch the next game, which was the Dallas game. And then I got to watch the first half of the Chiefs, because I didn't make it there until halftime, but I made it.
So
it was
where
pretty
were you
cool.
when Jason caught the touchdown? Where were you?
Oh, Travis?
I'm sorry, Travis. Yeah, Travis.
That's okay. I get them confused too. Call them each other's names all the time. Moms do that.
Yeah, I know. So do dads, trust me.
So you start naming them all, So what happened was that they told me about the first touchdown, because I missed that one. I was coming out of the area where the concourse is, and there was a crew there, from Kansas City, because they had been following it. And so they were there, and they said, "Did you know your son just got a touchdown?" I said, "No, I didn't." I said, "How exciting, but I got to go." So the driver was there, thank goodness. And he and I, sped off in the car and got to the stadium. And then, his touchdown throw was later on that day.
Now,
So, or later on
were
that
you in
evening.
were you in the stadium? Because I know it was early in the fourth quarter, so you got to see that in person.
Yes. Yeah, I got there right after halftime.
What
So
was
it was
that moment
great.
like for you, watching him
It
throw a
was
touchdown
awesome.
pass?
He's been talking about that since he was 5, and it's when kids are little, you're like, yeah, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'll support you. But, you're thinking in the back of your head, the chances of it happening are slim to none. But he was a quarterback when he was in high school. He started as a quarterback at UC, but then they had too many quarterbacks. So they said, can you please, we don't have a good tight end. Can you please do this? And he says, all right, fine. And it's like, that was the best thing that ever happened to him in his life. So
Yeah,
he made
clearly.
it to the NFL, and he's been going strong ever since. And it was just a thrill to see something that he wanted so bad actually come true. And I mean, the real thing was for him to get into the NFL. That's what he wanted to do. He didn't care where he played or what he did or anything. He just wanted to become an NFL football player. So, but yeah,
And
that was
now
something in the back of his head.
now here he is, not just an NFL player, but a record-setting NFL player on one of the best teams in the NFL, and already has one Super Bowl ring and a couple of appearances and hoping for another one. What is that like for a mother to watch from the time he's 5 with this wild dream that you never want to squash, but in the back of your mind, you know the odds are so against it.
Yeah.
What has that been like for you as a mom? Not to just watch one, but you've had opportunity to watch Jason's career as well.
Yeah, it's amazing to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, when they get there, you're so excited. You can't believe this ever was going to happen because there's so many talented football players that never get there. I mean, it's just a little bit of luck sometimes, to get to that point. And finally, when both of them won their Super Bowls, it's just tears and such, knowing how much of the sacrifices they made, to their bodies as well as to time, and putting their lives on hold for it, and the amount of time that they spent. It's amazing. And so yeah, it finally worked out for both of them, and I hope it continues on for Travis. It's not going to continue on for Jason this year, so we're kind of hoping for an Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl, but that didn't come to fruition. So
well, I know on one hand you say that you were kind of hoping for that, but having seen parents, I remember when the Harbaugh boys were coaching against one another, and I know Mr. and Mrs. Harbaugh, and I knew the pain they were in, but at the same time, the joy that they were in. Yes. What would that be like for you, watching your two boys on the biggest stage in sports competing against one another?
Yeah, I can truly watch games as a fan, and I do know players that are on different teams because, they've made friends, and those individuals have gone on to other teams, and I've been able to root for them too. Right. Like, some other players. So I can go out and I can root for the offense. I can cheer for the offense and know that I'm okay. Yeah. So as long as the offense does well, that's good. And, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it.
It would be awful if he was on defense and Travis was on offense. I wouldn't want to see them hitting each other.
Yeah, that would be really tough as a mom.
No, but it works out okay that they're on different, the same, side of the ball.
Now, do you live in the Cleveland area still, or are you in Florida?
No, I'm in Orlando. I left after they were I think Travis was just being, he was a rookie in football at the Chiefs, and it was just easier. My mom's still there. I have a lot of friends in Cleveland, but my brother is in Florida. I kind of like the weather better. I mean, when you get up there in age, you just kind of say, I don't want to shovel snow anymore. But I love Cleveland. I go back 2-3 times a year, as much as I can. Haven't been able to do it a lot with COVID, but I try to get there as much as I can.
Were Jason and Travis big Browns fans growing up? How did they watch football?
Yes, they were. They were huge Browns fans until the Browns left and went to Baltimore. So there were about 3 years there where they really didn't have a team, and they're trying to see who they liked. Was it the Pittsburgh Steelers, or, was it Cincinnati? And so the Steelers was an easy choice because they were so close and they were winning. But when the Browns came back, they support all the Cleveland teams. They love the Cavs. They love the Browns, and I guess it's the Guardians now. They love all the Cleveland. Yeah.
Both are so Cleveland. They really are. I've watched them through their careers, and maybe it's me assigning those traits to them, but they're gritty. They're hard workers. They're blue collar players that really take pride in their job each and every play. Is there a time where you've ever talked to either about perhaps later in their careers, maybe finishing with the Browns and coming home to Cleveland?
Yeah. The Browns have to want them first. I mean, Travis was out there and they didn't pick him, and he was crushed. Yeah. So, he always wanted to play there, but it just didn't happen. I mean, it is what it is. And, right now he is very, very fortunate with the quarterback he has and the the head coach that he has. And
Yeah.
I don't think you could pry him away at this moment.
Yeah, I don't think you could either.
I think
So,
he would go kicking and screaming, not just to the Browns, but anywhere.
Yeah, and I understand that for sure. As you get ready to watch this weekend, are there going to be any more planes, trains, and automobiles? How are you watching the Cincinnati or the Buffalo Kansas City game?
Yeah, Buffalo game. We're definitely going. Uncles, aunts. We're heading on a plane Saturday morning. We'll be there for the game on Sunday night. And I think his brother is going to try to go. I mean, he has a young family, but he's going to try and support Travis. So
yeah, and this weekend's travel should be much more relaxing.
Oh yeah, there's only one place to go.
All right, well, Donna, thank you so much for joining us and taking some time to talk about it. I love watching your boys play, and I'm certainly wishing Travis the best of luck as they try to make it another Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. This Sunday is going to be rough, so we'll see. They're all rough now. I mean, everybody's at the top of their game and they're trying their hardest, and there's so much talent out there in the last couple of games. So, they'll give it their best shot and try as hard as they can, and hopefully they'll come out with a dub. So
yeah, boy, you're right. You're so right. When you get to this stage, there's nothing easy about it. Buffalo looked great in their last game.
Yes.
So, of course, did Kansas City. I kind of get the sense that this is really the AFC Championship game. I really feel like they're the two best teams in the AFC. It's a shame that they're meeting this week and not next week, but it's going to be fun to watch.
That was our fault because we couldn't win, against
Cincinnati.
The Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would have.
You pay the price sometimes when that happens. So what are you going to do?
And listen, we all were watching that game in Cleveland, needing Kansas City to win. And on the 3rd and 27 pickup, yeah. I think Cleveland's collective heart just got shattered because we knew then that our chances were over too.
Yeah, I know. We've been on. Yeah, the boys have been on the side, both to the detriment and to the happiness. When it's happened to them,
right.
They got a bye week, much similar to what happened with the Titans. We were tied with somebody during the last Super Bowl, and so we know what it feels like.
Well, enjoy the ride wherever it may take you. And thanks so much for sharing your story, Donna.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. You have a great day.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye.